Hello everyone, Heartbakes here back with our review for you guys, and everyone, first of all, just wanted to apologize for having to have the videos I had planned release later than expected. The only video I managed to release yesterday was the DuckTales, my first thoughts on, DuckTales, my first impressions on DuckTales 2017 reboot. Like to apologize for that, guys, but my bowling league practice ended up lasting longer than I expected, so I told you guys plus, the Wonder Woman movie, I was watching that as soon as I finished recording not too long ago after after I uploaded my video about the DuckTales reboot to YouTube and stuff like that. But the Wonder Woman movie lasted longer than I expected, so I'm enjoying the movie so far, but I haven't necessarily finished it yet. So I'm planning to finish up the movie today and plan to do a review for you guys. Hopefully I'll have the review released sometime later on today here, but I also had a couple reaction videos planned, so make sure to stay tuned for that, guys. Right now, I'll get to this video, which is my first WWE related video or a wrestling related video on my YouTube channel. That's my official review for WWE Hell in a Cell. Now, guys, I'd like to apologize for not releasing this sooner. I said I was gonna do like a compilation reaction where I got shot parts out and stuff like that, but a bowling league practice and it lasted longer than I expected, so I had to miss the first part of Hell in a Cell. Managed to watch the rest of that. I missed the pre-show match and the first Hell in a Cell match between the New Day and the Usos. I did watch the rest of it. The rest of the show, enough time to get back and watch the rest of the show and stuff, so. And I finished watching the pre-show match and the first official match for the card not too long ago, so see the whole card, I'm about to do my official review for WWE Hell in a Cell 2017. Everyone. I know the pre-show match for Hell in a Cell was the team of Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable versus the Hype Bros, Mojo Rawley, and Zack Ryder. I thought this was a pretty good matchup for a pre-show match. Very competitive, very back and forth stuff. Although the outcome, I admit, was pretty predictable. Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable end up with the matchup. Over the past number of weeks, they've been building up a breakup of the Hype Bros between Zack Ryder and Mojo Rawley. I thought they were going to do it tonight, but apparently I thought they were going to do it at the pre-show, but apparently not. So they're gonna be saving the breakup for the Hype Bros being on episode of SmackDown or the next pay-per-view. WWE pay-per-view, the SmackDown's gonna be on maybe Survivor Series or something like that. But yeah, nevertheless, I thought the match was pretty good for a pre-show match there. Good way to set the show here. So. After that, was the first official match for Hell in a Cell, which was for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. It was the New Day defend titles against the Usos, and the New Day Usos, they've been having very, very good rivalry. Probably one of the best, and probably going as far as say they probably have one of the best rivalries, not just WWE, probably all of wrestling this year. My own personal opinion. So this match would probably be their big blow-off match here, but still a very exciting way to conclude the rivalry. There were lots of crazy stuff they did this Hell in a Cell match here, when Big E was spearing one of the Usos in the ropes. I can't remember if it was Jimmy or Jay. Sorry if I get the Usos mixed up, everyone. They are twins after all, so I can't remember their names at the top of my head there, but anyway. Big E spear one of the Usos and through the ropes, and Big E's head just collided right through the cage, or right around the cage there. That was a nasty spot to see. And there was another part where they had one of the Usos in the corner and like this over the corners of Hell in a Cell with a kiddo stick and stuff like that. And then there was another part where, I saw a bunch of crazy stuff. Another one would probably, when they were, where the Usos were beating the crap out of Xavier Woods with the kendo sticks there. They had him handcuffs and stuff like that. Man, and and the match ends with the Usos hit a double frog splash on a steel chair to Xavier Woods, and they got the win. They managed to win back the SmackDown Tag Team Championships from the New Day here. Everyone, to be honest, I thought the New Day was going to come out on top of this matchup, but apparently I was wrong. Yeah, but nevertheless, it was still a very entertaining match. If this was the last matchup between the Usos and the New Day, regardless of their rivalry, it was a heck of a matchup. The Wheels to a hot start to Hell in a Cell. And then after that match, everyone, it was Randy Orton versus Rusev in a 1-1 matchup. And I thought the match itself was good. Not as good as the New Day and Usos matchup, but it's hard. They were having a tough task to top that one. So, nevertheless, I thought it was a pretty good matchup between Orton and Rusev, Randy Orton and Rusev, and a little bit. They I can speak for a lot of people. It's probably the best match they've had in their rivalry and stuff. But in the end, Randy Orton, ends up winning the match by hitting RKO to Rusev and paid him for the victory and stuff, So, on one hand, I kind of expected it, but at the same time, I felt like Rusev kind of needed this win because I feel like he's been having a little bit of a bump right now when it comes to singles competition. WWE, I mean, he hasn't won. I don't think he's won a pay-per-view match so far ever since he came back. I mean, his first pay-per-view match back was the Battleground flag match with John Cena, and he ended up losing that match. And then there was a match at SummerSlam between him and Randy Orton where he got beat in 10 seconds. And then there was the Hell in a Cell match, their match here at Hell in a Cell where Rusev, ended up losing Randy Orton again, So, yeah, things have been on the upside for Rusev lately, but nevertheless, it was still a very good match between Randy Orton and Rusev there. And, I believe after that match was, let's see. I'm trying to go through the exact order of the card and stuff like that, so I'm sorry if I get a couple matches mixed up there. Do have a pretty good memory of the matches and the show and stuff like that, So I do apologize if I'm trying to get everything right with the match order stuff, so I do apologize if I get something mixed up. But anyway, well, after that match, I believe was the I believe it was the Women's Championship match after that one between Charlotte and Natalya, and everyone, I'm gonna be honest, I was a little disappointed in the matchup here. I mean, it wasn't a bad match, but I kind of expected more from Natalya and Charlotte. I mean, they put up some great matches in the past. And I consider both Natalya and Charlotte some of the best female wrestlers in WWE today. I thought this match would have been one of the highlights for Hell in a Cell, my own personal opinion, but just something that there was something that wasn't working right. Maybe a little disappointing the match up there, but yeah, not a bad match, but a little disappointing. The match ends up with Natalya retained the Women's Championship, but she ends up losing the matchup via disqualification because she ends up hitting Charlotte, which was. They did in the matchup, where Natalya was targeting Charlotte's leg and stuff, and she ended the match with I hit Charlotte with the chair and attacking her leg with the chair and stuff like that, and which I kind of get, I mean, it's the beginning of the feud stuff, so you don't want to have. So I do think they can make this match probably last longer than just one-off pay-per-view match and stuff. So although there were some people, including myself, expecting a possible cash over Carmella, but so far that hasn't happened yet. It looks like we're still on the waiting for the cash in for to be able to happen, you know. All right, and then after that matchup, everyone was the. All right, the next matchup I remember top of my head was the United States Championship match, which was changed to a triple threat match between AJ Styles, Baron Corbin, and Ty Dillinger. You know, at first it was going to be a regular. It was not to be a regular world match between Corbin and AJ Styles. You know, but which I thought was a little weird because based on how everything was going on SmackDown, you know, I thought it was gonna be a triple threat match, but apparently not. But they changed it to during the pre-show where Daniel Bryan and Ty Dillinger in a triple threat match, and I thought it was a very good match between AJ Styles, Baron Corbin, and you know, Ty Dillinger. You know, very back and forth triple threat match, my own personal opinion, and you know. I thought all three guys were doing a great job in that matchup, but in the end, Baron Corbin, and the end of the matchup, everyone, Baron Corbin ends up becoming the new United States champion by pinning Ty Dillinger, but he didn't pin AJ Styles, so I do see a reaction between those two happening later on down the line. So. I thought it was a very good triple threat match there, you know. And congratulations to Baron Corbin. It looks like the people don't have to worry about doing Baron Corbin anymore since he's the United States champion and stuff, you know. Because there were those rumors going around that Corbin supposedly had a lot of backstage heat on him and stuff. That's why he failed his cash in to Money in the Bank and on Jinder Mahal and lost his match at SummerSlam to John Cena and stuff. So. Looks like Corbin's on his way back up to the main event seat here, so I hope maybe AJ Styles maybe to try good for the WWE Championship after, you know, this feud with Baron Corbin is done and over with. So which brings me over to my next. I do hope this matchup. Even though Ty Dillinger lost, I thought he looked very strong in this matchup, and I hope WWE still does some more stuff with Ty Dillinger. Though he's one of the most over guys in the roster, the SmackDown roster. It will just not make sense, you know, to not have him featured more on SmackDown stuff. So, I mean, they were barely airing on SmackDown before the U.S. title picture happened, U.S. title scene happened, and now I feel like this is a good opportunity to use Ty Dillinger more. You know, have him, you know, get big wins and stuff like that, you know. Build him up, you know, to where he may eventually win the United States become the United States champion, you know. Anyway, everyone. Now on to the next matchup, everyone. Is the WWE Championship match between Jinder Mahal and Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, I wasn't really expecting much out of this matchup, you know. I mean, the match at SummerSlam wasn't that good, you know, and that's what's disappointing to say because I've recently become a big fan of Shinsuke Nakamura, you know. And I've been, you know, I've been trying to be a little bit fair with Jinder Mahal when it comes to his WWE Championship reign, you know. But I feel like, you know, WWE's just been repeating the same cycle over and over again with Jinder Mahal's matches, you know. Jinder Mahal gets beat up, Singh Brothers distracted his opponent, Jinder Mahal doesn't call out his opponent, 1, 2, 3, Jinder Mahal retains the WWE Championship. It's been like that ever since he won the WWE Championship, you know. Now, they managed to do things a little bit differently this time around, you know, with this match with Shinsuke Nakamura because this ended up evicting the Singh Brothers out of the match, so but as for my thoughts on the match itself, like I said, it's pretty much what I expected needed to be, you know. I didn't really expect much, but I said their match is kind of, I'll give it credit where credit's due. It's slightly better than their match at SummerSlam that he had, but yeah, I'm still not feeling, these two are, very, very good chemistry with each other in the ring and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, I was watching the pay-per-view with my friends, and well, some online friends, some friends online stuff we were watching together and stuff. We were on Skype and stuff like that. One of my friends was really pulling for Shinsuke Nakamura to win, but Jinder Mahal ends up winning the matchup. They retained the WWE Championship. He was real mad. Like, I boycott SmackDown until Jinder Mahal loses the WWE Championship. So, so. So, I thought it was pretty funny. I don't, while I'm not gonna boycott, Jinder Mahal, I'm not gonna boycott, SmackDown because Jinder Mahal's still the champion, I do feel like that this reign Jinder Mahal's been having has been a little bit lackluster, I mean, he's not a bad worker, just that, the material he's been given with over the he's been working with ever since the title reign, with promos and stuff like that. It's just, and how his matches keep having the same rinse and repeat outcomes. I feel like it's just lost the excitement over time with people, people having, over Jinder Mahal become WWE champion, something like that, Unless I remember hearing from World Culture Wrestling not too long ago, they made a countdown about Jinder Mahal, 10 things everyone you forget about Jinder Mahal, that Mahal, he was, the main reason why he was good to WWE Championship was to increase the marketing in India for WWE, and from what I've heard, ever since Jinder Mahal became WWE champion, numbers have actually been down in WWE Network subscriptions in India, So, but I guess they're still going through with, Jinder Mahal being WWE champion until they have the tour in India and stuff, so, which will be until December, so, oh yeah. I realized there was a Jinder Mahal retained WWE Championship, and I thought it was an kind of lackluster WWE Championship match, against Shinsuke Nakamura. So, anyway, after that matchup, it was the Bobby Roode versus Dolph Ziggler. I thought it was a good enough match, I mean, again, the outcome was I expected the outcome, Bobby Roode ended up winning the matchup, against Dolph Ziggler, and kind of back and forth matchup there, but he ends up winning by rolling up Dolph Ziggler. Ziggler started the roll up, doing the roll ups, but Roode turned around on him, rolled up Dolph Ziggler and stuff, and Bobby Roode ends up winning his first pay-per-view match in WWE, but it's a zigzag from Dolph Ziggler, so expect that feud to continue for a little while, everybody. So, and I thought it was a good enough match, better than the WWE Championship match, but probably not one of the biggest highlights of the show, It's just an okay matchup between Ziggler and Roode there, so. But then there was the main event, the second Hell in a Cell match between Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon, and guys, this matchup was crazy, I mean, it was a very back and forth between Kevin and Shane, in the matchup. There were a bunch of crazy spots, like, Shane getting powerbomb the steps, and Kevin Owens going through and trying to do a cannonball on Shane McMahon through a table, but it ends up backfiring. Then they eventually brought the fight to the outside of the cage and stuff, And there was one part then. Yeah, you know, back at have hammerweight each other outside and stuff like that. Outside the cage and stuff like that. And Kevin Owens went terrible. The outside looked like he was about to dive off against Shane McMahon, but he backed down. Gave Shane McMahon enough time to climb up the cage there. You know, those two were fighting. Those two, the Shane McMahon, Kevin Owens, they were up. They were in final time the cage there, and they were up there for a for a good while of the match up there. You know, and. I was a little worried that something bad was going to happen because, you know, the other Hell in a Cell matches where we've seen people go through the top of the cage, like Mick Foley going through the top of the cage when he was face off against Undertaker back in 1998. That was not intended to happen, stuff like that. And they must, but luckily they reinforced it, the top part of the cage, you know, make sure nothing bad was going to happen, you know. The spots that Shane and the moves that Shane and Kevin were doing to each other were always very brutal, so. And it definitely had added tension to the matchup where it felt like one of them or even both of them could have fallen off the top, through the top of the cell and stuff like that, you know. And then they were climbing down the cell and stuff like that, you know, and you know. Shane McMahon was beating down Kevin Owens and stuff, you know. Eventually, Kevin fell off the side of the cell and landed right on one of the announcers' tables and stuff, you know. It was like Shane McMahon was going to win there, but Shane was like, no, that's not enough. I'm going up on top. One more time. And then he tore up the other announce table there, and put Kevin Owens on top of it there, and Shane planned to do the same thing he did with the Undertaker match, elbow drop from the top of the cell and stuff like that, you know. But he ends up, just like last time, he ends up missing, but this time kept, unlike, especially the Undertaker moved like himself, Kevin Owens got some help, which was definitely a surprising twist. Sami Zayn helping out Kevin Owens there, pulling out of harm's way from Shane McMahon, making sure McMahon crashed through the announcer's table and stuff like that. And the EMTs were coming like that, but Sami shooed them away and Blake Kevin Owens on top of Shane McMahon, a cure free count 1, 2, 3, and Kevin Owens ends up win the matchup. Thanks some help from Sami Zayn, you know. There were a lot of good matches for Hell in a Cell, you know. But I think as very hard. I think the Hell in a Cell matches themselves were probably the best ones. But if I had to choose which one was better, you know, again, this is my own personal opinion, you know. While I do think the New Day and Usos match was a very exciting start to Hell in a Cell, and everybody takes the title of best Hell in a Cell match based on and tag team matches and stuff like that, you know. Top, you know, DX and versus Legacy back in 2009, my own personal opinion. But in the end, I had to go. If I had to choose overall best match, it'd probably be Kevin Owens and, you know, Shane McMahon, you know, like I said, doing all the crazy stuff that they were doing in the matchup, you know. And plus with the big, you know, and the most memorable end, we'll have a very memorable ending, you know, what happened, you know, having Sami Zayn helping out Kevin Owens, you know, and maybe possible heel turn for Sami Zayn and stuff, you know. So overall, I thought I'll give my thoughts on each and every single matchup, time form of rating everyone, you know. And again, you know, it'll be kind of similar to movie reviews, right, everyone, but it'll be slightly different, you know. Highest rating will be, you know, my highest rating would be a must-watch, you know, rating, or probably some, or I guess I give this rating for some of the best pay-per-views, you know. Then there's definitely, and there's a Then there's a worth seeing rating, which is the second highest, which, probably not one of the biggest pay-per-views I've seen, but still very solid pay-per-view nonetheless, Then there's a middle rating where it's the okay rating, where for the average pay-per-views and stuff, like average quality pay-per-views and stuff, and there's the ignore it rating where not necessarily the worst, but that doesn't, but barely has the good things in it and stuff like that, or not worth the watch and stuff. Then there's there's the avoid it rating where probably goes to some of the worst pay-per-views and stuff like that, Where definitely I would not recommend a wrestling fan to watch for pay-per-views, where I definitely don't recommend wrestling fans to watch stuff like that, so. Hell is silly, though. And Hell is silly, though. My opinion, Hell is Silly 2017 gets a watch it rating. The second highest rating on the scale there, And that was only because the only real negatives I had with the show was the women's championship match and the WWE championship match being, kind of the weaker matches of the card. But aside from that, I can't really expect, I didn't really expect, too many bad matches. I didn't really think there were too many bad matches on the show. I thought all matches ranged from really good to, aside from those two matches, I thought all the matches were ranged from good to really good to freaking awesome. So, if you guys haven't seen Hell in a Cell 2017, I do highly recommend you guys check it out, That's all the time I have for now, everyone. Expect more videos to come out throughout the day. Until next time, this is our big sign out.